Okay, today what I want to talk about is just a little bit of a business analysis type of case study. Let's say you can take an organization from reaching their first million to their second, third, fifth, up to their, let's say, 10th million, for example. Anywhere from that first to the 10, it's a good exciting time for an organization. So from reaching that first million to getting to 10 million, the first 10 million, that's a very, very exhilarating period for everybody in the organization. And a lot of times, this is where businesses start to outgrow themselves and outgrow their capacity, because what once started out as just a couple people, doing something maybe out of the garage or out of a friend's apartment, now that's becoming something much larger and more difficult to kind of contain all the different components of an organization growing so rapidly. So a lot of times this is what happens, and a business begins to lose its flexibility. It begins to lose that agile spirit that it had in the initial days. Of course, an organization must mature beyond its startup phase, but the spirit of the startup has to not only remain in an organization, but it really has to become stronger. And this is just, again, a business analysis of what I've seen when you look at organizations who start out relatively, small and at a steady, consistent, disciplined sort of a pace, but they're just so consistent with their company culture and their branding and message from the inside out. You can see that really from Chick-fil-A. I mean, that's an example of an organization who they work on themselves first, and from them the organization feels it in every person in the organization. If you go to Chick-fil-A and you order drive through whatever in the restaurant, you're gonna see a difference. There's gonna be a noticeable difference between the way that you're treated in a Chick-fil-A and the way that you're treated at most other similar fast food type of restaurants. In-N-Out is the same way. In-N-Out is the exact same way. When you pull up at In-N-Out, the person who you're talking to is gonna have an uplifted spirit, and that's what's also, it's contagious, because we love to be around that type of energy. Why would we want to be around, poor service and poor food? We don't want to be around that as people. We want to be around those with energy, those who give us good feelings, those who are looking forward. We don't want to move backwards in life. Most of us, even though sometimes our actions might be all over the place. Sometimes we do things to move forward. Sometimes sometimes we do things and move ourselves backwards in life. Our truest intentions are to move forward in life. So that type of energy that those types of organizations have, how do smaller organizations embody that? How does a organization that's just standing up, maybe crossing the 1 million, 2 million, $3 million mark, how does that organization tighten up that message, really hone in on that message, and deliver it through your organization in a shockwave type of a manner where everybody's vibrating with that energy inside the organization? Because then the world will feel it. The more that an organization grows, the more people they come into contact with. So the front line is really where it starts. You have the front line. Who's picking up your phone, and how are they picking up your phone and communicating your message to the world? That's extremely important. Something as foundational as the person answering your phone and communicating with the world, your organization. If that person is having a bad day and they allow it to show when they pick up your phone, you are essentially allowing that to happen. As difficult as that may be to understand, the top top level of an organization is where the standards are set. How do organizations embody that type of culture? So what we're talking about is not something that's impossible to do. We know that a lot of organizations have implemented this, but how do they really implement it? And how can we implement it in our businesses? Because it's been done before, so there is a way to do this. So we just need to figure out how to do this. And it starts again from you. So if you are a key person in an organization, and even if you don't think you're a key person in an organization, you are. Every person is critical to an organization. If you're in an organization right now, you work a job, you have some form of employment, that's a blessing. To have some form of employment is a blessing, and it's a training ground for the next level in life for you. Every person, every one of us should learn what we're doing and learn how to do it well, and then progress to the next step. And that's what I'm just trying to kind of understand better, and again work on work on this understanding of that. And I'm just sharing with you guys, this is kind of the analysis that I'm working on and running and trying to test out and see, does this work? How does this affect this? And is there any way we can improve? Because operating efficiencies are critical to businesses at all levels, but especially at this level of crossing your first million up to your first 10 million. Operating efficiencies are extremely important, and putting those in place. And again, that's where an organization can outgrow themselves, because you're moving so fast that putting those critical systems in place that a much larger organization requires, that can easily be overlooked when you're sprinting and when you're running so fast. So that's something which I just want to share, and hopefully others can gain value from that, so that when it comes time for your organization to progress past these initial levels, that you have all the systems in place and you're tightened up in all areas. Everything as far as the critical key components that help circulate the lifeblood of an organization, making sure that all of those nuts and bolts and arteries and everything are pumping and functioning and working the way that they should be in order to operate efficiently. So with that, I hope that helps you guys out. And it doesn't matter what point you're starting at, as long as you do better at whatever it is that you're doing. There's no limit, because every day you can get a little bit better, and before you know it, you look back and you're like, damn, I came a long way. So you'll get there. If you're just starting out, just keep working. Discipline times consistency equals success. So with that, I hope that helps. Jordan, income over expense, over and out.
They want that cool shit, so I bring it to them. They tell the kid to quit, I don't listen to them. Team short staff, so I'm out recruiting. Sun down to sun up, I'm hardly snoozing. Look, you chose this road, don't ever look back. Snuck a couple glances in my rearview, front and center, catch a preview. Miles away, still I'm near you, chopping waves up on the sea. Love the way she rocks her hairdo. Honestly, my focus on you. It's on you. Not